Buenas noches, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 4 of Vollgazz Racing League on PS5. Tonight we are heading to Valencia and Circuito Ricardo Tormo. We are waiting a few minutes for the last ones to join, and then we will start the qualifying session. After 3 rounds of the league, we have Cam Styles in the lead with 65 points, followed by GEX with 50 points and Matthias in third place with 42 points.
First qualifying session is over, and now
Rain.
live coverage of
We have rain, ladies and gentlemen.
With the best times from free practice.
14 degrees in air, just 15 degrees on track. When we had the tryouts in Valencia in rain, we could see Matthias and Ras Al Ghul win their respective races. So they might be strong today. Mirko is first person on track. Okay, Mirko's game crashed, so we will...
So let's have a look at the times after the second and final qualifying. So let's have a look at the times after the second and final qualifying session. Our live broadcast ends here for today. Thank you for joining us, and tune in again tomorrow for live coverage of MotoGP. Hello from the
Vad sa... Blött. Okay, so Mirko's game crashed. We will restart soon just to let him join the race, and we will have wet track today.
While the riders complete their lap of honour, while the riders enjoy the acclaim of the fans on their lap of honour, let's take a look at the final standings in today's race.
Always bugs, but what can we do? And then we start again. I'm sorry for this, guys, but we do what we can to fight the bugs of
Welcome
Milestone.
back to the start of the second.
So, wet race today. 18 degrees in the air, 18 degrees on the track surface. Mike Taylor, the first to join. So we're going through turn 2, nice place to overtake. Turn 4, easy to carry speed into the turn and overtake on the inside, easy to crash. Especially since it's the first right turn in a long time. Going through turn 6, out on the back straight. Overtaking point. Easy to have a slide in this part, so it's important to have a good setup to avoid this. Turn 11. Easy place to crash if you're a little bit offset. A chicane going uphill into the last long turn 13, where it's easy to slide all the way through. Can consume a lot of tire. And Mike Taylor is the first one to start his flying lap in this 15-minute qualifying session in the wet, and he goes wide. So now Ras Al Ghul is the first rider on track. going out on the back straight. Leading the field in this qualifying session. Going wide. Manages to keep the bike on track. Wide again in turn 11. And through the last long left turn. A little bit wide again in the last turn, going safely on the first lap. And the first man to cross the finish line, setting the bar at 1:37.3. We're following GX, going through the last turn, out on the straight. Matthias up in second place, 0.1 seconds behind. And GX goes up in first position. Awkward 666 going up in fourth position, 2.4 seconds behind. Joe going through the last turn, hitting the brakes, a little bit wide, but carrying speed onto the straight. Crossing the finish line, only 46 thousandths of a second behind GX. In second position. Res Al Ghul is red in sector 1. Oh, but he's on an invalid lap time. We're following Mac Taylor going through the last turn. Having a good line there. Set to improve his lap time. And going up to 7th position. Bastino up into 6th. We're following Sheltex and GKG Wada going through the last turn on the straight. GKG Wada on the Ducati, on the Pramac Ducati up into 7th position. We're following Bastino now in 10th position, red in sector 1. At the moment he's 1.7 seconds behind. Orange in sector 2, personal best. Matthias is red in sector 2. At the moment he's in 5th position, 0.3 of a second behind GX on the provisional pole. The track is drying up, so we're not seeing the fastest laps of the session just yet, but the riders out getting the feeling in the wet surface. Matthias going wide in last turn on the straight, and he cancels the lap time. Heidi Hessig on personal best in sector 3 also cancels his lap. G Silky on the Avintia Ducati, 15th position, personal best up into 13th position. ATOC Awesome was red in Sector 1, but suffered a crash in Turn 4. So no one improving at the moment. Most riders have been in the pit changing tires, preparing for the next time attack. Ras Al Ghul, red in Sector 1. At the moment in 4th position, 0.2 of a second behind GX on provisional pole. Ready in turn 8. Going through the difficult turn 10. It was 1 second in front of GX. Sadly suffered a crash. Joe on a red Sector 1, the winner of last week's race in Argentina. Probably going to be fast today as well. Red in Sector 2 as well. Having a bit of a slide through turn 10. Taking the bike back into trajectory in a nice way. Going through the last long turn 13. Going wide. Managing to keep the bike on track but losing a lot of time. Let's see if he manages to improve anyway. Yes! He goes up into provisional pole. 0.3 of a second in front of Mirko. We're following Matthias, red in Sector 1. At the moment, down in 7th position, 1 second behind Joe. Orange in Sector 2. Still on personal best, can be a major improvement. Wearing a new helmet for this weekend. Personal best in Sector 3. Making the turn nicely. Going towards the finish line. And improves all the way up into 2nd position. 0.1 of a second behind Joe. Cam Styles takes provisional pole, 0.7 of a second. Cam Styles, the championship leader, on provisional pole with his monster Yamaha. Watching Sheltex going through the last turn. Having a nice line on a personal best. And improves all the way up into 8th position, 1.6 seconds behind Cam. We're following GX on a personal best going through turn 11. Keeping a good line through the chicane, going through the long turn 13, not sliding too much, taking a good line through the turn. towards the finish line and up into second position, 0.5 of a second behind Cam Styles. With 2 minutes remaining, Mirko going through the last turn on the X-Star Suzuki, personal best at the moment. From 7th position, improves up into first row. Ras Al Ghul, fastest in Sector 3, could probably have a major improvement. Having a nice line through the last turn, improving from 9th position up all the way into provisional pole, 0.3 of a second in front of Cam Styles, sliding through turn 1 into his last flying lap. Atok Awesome in 6th position, 1.1 behind Ras Al Ghul at the moment, going through the last turn. Having a good line on the Petronas Yamaha, improving up into first row, 0.6 of a second behind Ras Al Ghul. We have Ras Al Ghul in first position, we have Joe in 6th position, both are red at the moment in Sector 2. And Ras Al Ghul gets invalidated lap. A crash from Atok Awesome. So now we have Joe and GX on a red lap time, fighting for the pole, as well as Bastino. A lot of fast laps at the moment, as the track is drying out. Joe catches up Da Vinci Ducati and takes pole position, provisional pole, as GX is on his way to the finish line. Going through the last turn, fastest in Sector 3, going towards the finish line and up into first place. So Bastino at the moment, last rider not to cross the finish line yet, on a personal best down in 8th position. Going to the finish line.
That's the end of the second and final qualifying session, and we can finally... That's the end of the second and final qualifying session, and we can
so we have GX on pole position 135.1, followed by Joe 0.052 in second position, and Ras Al Ghul finishing off the first row, 0.2 of a second behind. In second row we have Cam Styles, Atok Awesome and Bastino, followed by Mirko, Matthias and Heidi Hasik in the third line. Awkward, Sheltex and Omalam in fourth row, GKG Wada, Mike Taylor and G Silky rounding off the squad down in 15th position.
Hello from the Ricardo Tour.
So we have a wet track for today's race here in Valencia. The riders are setting the setup for the race, choosing the right tire compound. With a soft tire you can be fast the first couple of laps. If you manage to stay on the bike, you can have a good advantage, but you can burn the tire and slide a lot in at the end of the race. We will probably see a lot of different tire choices for the race as the riders are getting ready. So, Cam Styles defending his championship lead from pole position. Alright, let's start this race. Finishing the week with some action here in Vollgazz Racing League on PS5. Malam has left the game, bugging out again. We might have to see a red flag. We have 2 long laps, 2 jump starts, Bastino and Awkward. GX taking the lead through turn 1. Nobody crashes, great news, let's have this race. ATOC Awesome going up in the lead through turn 2. And we have a crash, Mirko and Awkward. ATOC Awesome going wide, GX taking the lead. Some contact behind between ATOC and Joe. Going on the back straight, GX in first position, ATOC Awesome second, Joe third, Cam Styles fourth, and Razagul in 5th position. A group of 4 running away in the lead, with the rest of the field trying to catch up, and GX crashes in turn 10. Cam is up in the lead on the Monster Yamaha. Joe goes up in the lead. We have a crash further down, ATOC Awesome and Mirko. Cam is going up inside of Joe in the last turn. Not close enough. Joe finishing the first lap in first position, Cam Styles second, Razagul third, Pediasik fourth, GKG Wada in 5th. So we have 2 Monster Yamahas in the top 3. Joe was really fast in last race, having a lead of 7 seconds. Let's see if he's as superior today. Cam Styles fighting for first position with Joe. At the moment, Accord, back in 13th position, has served one of his long lap penalties. And we have a crash. 2 crashes. Russell Gould goes down from a 3rd position, losing down into 9th position. Heidi Hasik up into 3rd. Joe runs wide. Cam overtakes. Joe takes the position back. 2 fast riders fighting for the first position. Going towards the finish line. Joe in first position, Cam Styles second, Heidi 3rd, GKG Wada 4th, Sheltex in 5th position. As we can see, a lot of spray coming from Joe's rear tire as he goes wide. But Cam Styles is not close enough to pass. Maybe attacking in turn 8. Not yet. Maybe saving the tire. Trying to attack later on in the drier asphalt. Have a fight further down for the final podium position between Heidi Hasik and GKG Wada. Going through the last turn. Joe still in first position, followed by Cam Styles. Now with a 3-second lead to the following riders. Russell Gould going wide after having passed Matthias in 8th position. Manages to keep his position still though. A close battle between the 2 Swedes, fighting for 7th position. Russell Gould on the Monster Yamaha, Matthias on the Repsol Honda. Cam Styles in 2nd position, losing a little bit time towards Joe, but still less than a second behind in 2nd position. 3.3 seconds now in front of Heidi Hasik. Russell Gould goes up inside of Sheltex, going wide. But manages to keep his position. Going wide. Russell Gould in 6th position, Schultex in 7th. Going up the inside, almost contact. Russell Gould goes wide. Matthias passes Schultex. The 3 Swedes in a battle for 6th position. Matthias now up into 7th. Mirko down in 12th position, the fast Italian. Trying to overtake G Silky for 11th position. G Silky have a moment there, goes wide. Closest trajectory, hits Mirko, and Mirko goes down. Give him a warning. No need to take a penalty, but a reminder that when losing the line we have to be careful when joining back on the line. Joe in 1st position, Cam Styles in 2nd, 0.6 behind, Pegasic in 3rd, 4.4 behind, followed by Russell Gould in 4th position, GKG Wall in 5th, Matthias in 6th, Schultex in 7th, GX, the fast French down in 8th position, followed by Mike Taylor, G Silky, Atok Awesome, Mirko, Bastien and Awkward. That was a really strange accident. GKG Walla goes down. Matthias touches his bike and goes down as well. Really strange crash. A lot of crashes we're seeing today in these slippery conditions in Valencia, as we're seeing a lot of fights on track, riders going at their maximum, trying to overtake. Meanwhile, in 2nd position, Cam Styles catching up on Joe, a little bit closer now than we'd seen in the last laps. As we can see Joe's teammate GKG Wada going up the inside of Russell Gould. Going wide, Russell Gould taking back his position in this fight for 6th. Meanwhile, we can see Schultex catching GX for the 4th position. Crashed by Atok Awesome in 10th position. Going through turn 11, Cam Styles just 4/10 of a second behind Joe, aiming for victory after half the race. Starting lap 8, half a second behind Joe. We're following Matthias, catching GKG Wada as Russell Gould rounds wide in the last turn. a three-person fight for 6th position. Still Joe having the fastest lap so far in the race, but as the track keeps drying out, we might see even faster laps towards the end of the race. Mirko happy 9th position, having passed Mike Taylor. Now 3.6 seconds behind Matthias. And crashed by Ras Al Ghul again. Matthias up into 7th, GKG Wada up into 6th as they go through turn 11. Matthias up the inside, going side by side now towards turn 12. Matthias up the inside, overtaking up into 6th position. Cam Stiles now just 1/10 of a second behind Joe, losing a little bit through turn 2, setting the fastest lap time. Bastino has left the building. Another crash by Mirko in 9th position, dropping down into 10th. Five laps remaining, the field extending. Closest to riders on track at the moment. The top two guys fighting for victory here in Valencia. We can hear the bike spinning through the last long turn 13, losing some time. Now 6/10 of a second behind Joe. 5 laps remaining. Joe in the lead, Cam Stiles in second. Heidi Hasik 8 seconds behind in third. And we have a crash. Eitagasso, Awesome, and Mirko crashes. Mirko crashes again, drops down all the way into 12th position. We will see after the race what happened there. Joe now extending his lead to 8/10 of a second. Is Cam Stiles having a tire drop, losing grip, or is he saving his second position, fighting for championship? But as we can see, Joe now fastest man on track so far in this race. We're watching now Joe, and as we can see from Cam Stiles, the spray is not as heavy now as was at the beginning of the race, now as it's drying out. Meanwhile, Ras Al Ghul having a long lap penalty. Still Cam in second position, hanging on to Joe, catching up again. 0.3 of a second going into the last turn. Up towards the finish line, and we have 3 laps remaining. Joe at the moment in the lead. Cam Styles closely following behind. Joe, ATOG Awesome, being black flagged, probably staying still too long. We'll see afterwards what happened there. Cam Styles in his last lap set the fastest lap so far in the race, catching up again with Joe, not throwing in the towel just yet, fighting for victory and to extend his championship lead. Joe making a really nice race in first position, trying to gain victory just as last week. We have a crash by Joe, and crashes again. We have a crash as well from Sheltex. Heidi Hasik up into second position, Joe still in third, followed by GX, Sheltex. We see the 2 Repsol Hondas fighting for fifth position. With 2 laps remaining, we have Cam Styles in the lead with a solid gap to Heidi Hasik in second. Fighting for fifth at the moment, Sheltex, Matthias going up the inside in turn 1. Nice overtake by the Swede. And GKG Wada in 7th, catching up with the 2 Repsol Hondas. A lot of accident in this race, a lot of crashes, a lot of battles as well. G Silky down in 11th position, being awarded a long lap penalty. We have Joe in 3rd position, catching up again with Heidi Hasik, trying to battle for a 2nd position. And we have a crash by Heidi Hasik from a 2nd position. Joe goes up into 2nd. So Cam Styles in the lead. Joe set the fastest lap in the race once more. We see GKG Wada catching up with Sheltex, fighting for 6th, and Russell will just behind, running wide in turn 1. No one attacking at the moment in the race. Camstyle is going through the last turn 13 for the last time. Nice race, another victory. And Camstyle takes victory here today in Valencia without really crossing the finish line. Joe in second position, going through the last turn towards finish line. Takes second position, 11 seconds behind. A drag race to the finish line. GX just in front of Heidi Hasik. And we're following the rest of the Hondas. Sheltex in the slipstream. Almost overtook Matthias. Matthias takes 5th. Sheltex 6th. GKG Wada 7th. Ras Al Ghul 7th. 8th, sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, nice race today here in Valencia. A lot of fights, a lot of crashes. Camstyle takes the victory, followed by Joe and GX finishing off the podium. And then we have Heidi Hasik in 4th, Matthias, Sheltex, GKG Wada, Ras Al Ghul, Mirko, Mike Taylor, G Silky, and finishing off Awkward in 12th position. That's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us one week more here at Vollgazz Racing on PS5. See you again next week in Mugello.